Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why? Or opened the fridge, stared inside, and couldn't remember what you were looking for? If this topic has inspired you, please let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? What foods have made a difference in your life? If you're over 60, chances are you've felt this kind of mental fog more often than you'd like. It's frustrating. It's a little scary. And if we're being honest, it can make you question whether your best years are behind you. But what if I told you that your brain fog, your low energy, your mood swings, they might not be because of age alone. They might be because of what's on your plate, or what's missing from it. Today, I want to share with you 3 powerful, science-backed foods that seniors across Europe and North America are quietly using to keep their minds sharp, their blood sugar balanced, and their moods steady. These are everyday foods, nothing exotic, nothing trendy. But when eaten consistently, they can become some of your best tools for longevity and clarity. Let's begin with a story from the quiet town of Bruges, Belgium. Eloise, 74 years old, used to be a librarian. Organized, curious, sharp as a tack. But after she turned 70, she started to forget little things. Appointments. Recipes she'd made 100 times. Her sleep was lighter, her mornings groggier, and some days, she just didn't feel like herself. Her doctor ran tests. Nothing serious. Just aging, they said. But Eloise wasn't ready to settle for that. She began keeping a food journal. Not to count calories, but to notice how her meals affected how she felt. And over time, one pattern became clear. When she skipped breakfast, or filled it with toast and jam, her brain felt foggy. But on the days she ate her usual handful of walnuts, her clarity returned. Not instantly, but noticeably. That's when she dug deeper and discovered the first food I want to share with you. First, walnuts, the brain's favorite snack. Walnuts may look like little brains, and that's no accident. Nature seems to leave clues. These nuts are packed with alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that supports cognitive function, mood regulation, and vascular health, 3 areas where seniors are most vulnerable. In a long-term study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers followed 640 seniors over the age of 63 for more than 2 years. The participants who included walnuts in their regular diet showed better memory, focus, and verbal reasoning skills than those who didn't. But that's not all. Walnuts are also a powerful ally against blood sugar spikes, a major contributor to brain fog and mood swings. Because they're rich in healthy fats, fiber, and protein, they help slow digestion and prevent the roller coaster of sugar highs and crashes. Eloise now starts her day with Greek yogurt, berries, and a small handful of walnuts. Her fog has lifted. Her energy has returned. And she says she feels 10 years younger in the head. So, if you're looking for a snack that feeds your mind, reach for a few walnuts. Not a bowl full. Just a handful a day. Now, let's travel to Sardinia, Italy, one of the world's famous blue zones, where people often live well past 90, sharp and spirited. That's where we meet Johnny, 81, a retired winemaker who still rides his bicycle every morning. His secret? According to him, it's what he eats after his ride. Every day, Johnny sits on his patio, peels a boiled egg, and enjoys a simple dish of lentil stew with olive oil and lemon. It keeps my blood happy, he laughs. But Johnny is onto something more profound than he realizes. Because our second food is, second. Lentils, the blood sugar balancer. Lentils are humble. No one's bragging about them on TV commercials. But they are one of the most complete foods a senior can eat. Why? Because they do 3 extraordinary things at once. They stabilize blood sugar thanks to their slow-digesting carbs and high fiber. They boost mood by providing magnesium, folate, and B vitamins, all nutrients linked to lower rates of depression and anxiety in older adults. They feed the brain with plant-based protein and antioxidants that reduce inflammation, a hidden culprit behind memory loss. In a 2020 study from Spain, researchers examined the diets of over 2,000 older adults and found that those who ate legumes like lentils at least 3 times a week had a 25% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, as well as better cognitive scores on memory tests. But there's more. Lentils are one of the few foods that feed your gut bacteria, and your gut is where 90% of your serotonin, your feel-good brain chemical, is made. In other words, eating lentils can actually lift your mood from the inside out. Johnny doesn't know the science, but he knows how he feels. He says that when he skips his lentils for a few days, he feels sluggish. His thoughts feel slower. But when he keeps them in his routine, life feels clearer. Lentils are easy to prepare. You can simmer them in broth, toss them in salads, or serve them warm with a drizzle of olive oil and lemon, just like Johnny. Now let's meet Grace, a 78-year-old artist from Manchester, England. After retiring from her job as an art teacher, she threw herself into painting and walking. But about 2 years ago, she hit a wall. She'd wake up in a fog. Her mood dipped without reason. She felt tired all day, even when she slept well. A nutritionist suggested she try something a little unusual for a senior woman. Eat 2 Brazil nuts a day. That's it. At first, Grace laughed. How could 2 nuts make a difference? But she tried. And within 2 weeks, something shifted. Her focus sharpened. Her moods evened out. Her sleep deepened. That leads us to the third food. Third, Brazil nuts, the mood and memory booster. What makes Brazil nuts so special? Selenium. Selenium is a trace mineral your body needs in small amounts, but its impact is massive. It plays a crucial role in brain function, thyroid health, and mood regulation. Most seniors, especially in Europe and North America, are deficient in selenium and don't even know it. Low selenium levels have been linked to increased risk of cognitive decline, higher rates of depression, greater inflammation in the brain. But here's the good news. Just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day can provide 100% of your selenium needs. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that older adults who supplemented with selenium showed improved mood and cognitive function within 4 weeks. It's that fast. But don't overdo it. Brazil nuts are potent. More than 2 to 3 per day over a long period might lead to excess selenium, which isn't healthy either. Keep it balanced. Grace now keeps a small jar of Brazil nuts by her breakfast tea. They're my brain buttons, she says with a smile. And maybe she's right. So what do we have? Walnuts for brain clarity and blood sugar. Lentils for mood, memory, and balanced energy. Brazil nuts for sharper thinking and emotional stability. 3 simple foods. 1 clear message. Your brain is not doomed to fade. Your mood is not beyond your control. Your energy is not gone forever. Sometimes, the path back to yourself begins in the kitchen. If this message has inspired you, please let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? What foods have made a difference in your life? And if you'd like to keep learning about how to eat, live, and age with strength and peace, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're building a family of elderly reflections, senior health, and life lessons from the elderly, and your presence makes this journey richer. Let's take a moment and think about something simple. What did you eat yesterday? Not just the meals, but how they made you feel. Did you feel energized? Focused? Calm? Or did you feel sluggish, forgetful, maybe even a little low? It's easy to brush it off. I'm just getting older. But the truth is, your food choices are speaking to your brain, your heart, and your mood every single day. And now that you've met the 3 foods from part 1, walnuts, lentils, and Brazil nuts, let's talk about how to live with them. Because knowledge is only power when you apply it. We begin with ritual. Not diet. Not restriction. Not rules. Ritual. Because the most successful seniors who live long, stay sharp, and feel emotionally steady, they don't rely on willpower. They rely on rhythm. and that rhythm usually begins in the morning. That's when we meet Margaret, 81, from Edinburgh, Scotland. A retired nurse, Margaret was known for her sharp wit and morning walks. But last year, her energy dropped. Her mind felt foggy. She would lose track of conversations. Her doctor said her memory was normal for her age, but she refused to accept that. She read about walnuts helping with focus and began experimenting. She didn't change everything at once. She just added one new ritual. A brain boost bowl every morning, Greek yogurt, a drizzle of honey, a handful of blueberries, and 5 or 6 walnuts chopped on top. I used to forget where I left my keys, she told us. Now I remember where I left my train of thought. The key isn't just what she eats, it's when and how. By starting her day with brain-friendly fats and proteins, Margaret avoids the sugar spikes that come with toast and jam. She sets the tone for stable energy and focus all day. And you can too. Just remember, walnuts aren't a snack, they're a signal. A signal to your brain that today, you choose clarity. Now, let's move into the afternoon. This is where many seniors experience a crash. You've had lunch. The day slows down. You feel sleepy, maybe a little moody, and your brain begins to fog over. This is exactly when Johnny from Sardinia eats his lentils. But what if you don't have time to simmer a pot of stew? That's where we introduce a powerful habit. The smart salad. It's something 73-year-old Nora from Ireland prepares twice a week and eats daily. It's simple, cooked lentils. You can buy them pre-cooked or canned, mixed with chopped vegetables like cucumber, tomato, and red onion, tossed in olive oil and lemon juice, and stored in the fridge. She scoops a portion onto her plate each afternoon, and says it helps her feel clean, calm, and steady. You see, lentils stabilize blood sugar not just during a meal, but after. They slow down digestion, and help prevent the dips that cause moodiness and fatigue. And here's something most people forget. Blood sugar crashes don't just make you tired. They make you irritable, anxious, foggy, unmotivated. But a small bowl of lentils in the afternoon? That's your antidote. Try this. Take half a cup of lentils, mix with diced red pepper and parsley, drizzle with olive oil, and add a pinch of sea salt. Serve it cool or warm. You'll be surprised how satisfying it is, and how mentally clear you feel by 4 p.m. Now let's move into the quiet part of the day. Evening. This is when the day begins to slow, and for many, when loneliness creeps in. That's why it's the perfect time for a soothing, selenium-rich treat. Your Brazil nut ritual. I want to introduce you to Leif, an 86-year-old piano teacher from Copenhagen. Every evening, before his chamomile tea, he sets out 2 Brazil nuts on a small dish beside his piano. He calls them his thinking caps. He eats them slowly, almost meditatively, as he listens to classical music or reflects on his day. It's not the nuts, he laughs. It's the moment they create. But scientifically, it is the nuts. 2 Brazil nuts contain all the selenium you need to improve mood and memory. And when paired with calm surroundings and slow intention, that's when your body absorbs them best. Leif's not just feeding his brain. He's feeding his peace. And this is where the real magic begins. When food becomes more than fuel. When it becomes medicine. Mood. Memory. Here's how you can create your own daily rhythm using these 3 foods. Morning. Clarity and calm. Greek yogurt or oatmeal topped with 5 to 6 walnuts. Add blueberries or banana for antioxidants. Sip warm water with lemon instead of coffee, which can spike cortisol. Midday. Balance and energy. Lentil salad or warm lentil soup. Add greens, olive oil, and herbs. Avoid sugary snacks, lentils stabilize you longer. Evening. Mood and reflection. 1-2 Brazil nuts with a calming tea. Dim the lights, avoid screens, and use this as your quiet wind down. None of this is extreme. None of it is expensive. But it works, because it speaks to your biology, your nervous system, and your soul. let's not forget what's really at stake here. Brain fog isn't just about forgetting where your keys are. It's about forgetting yourself. Unstable blood sugar isn't just about fatigue. It's about losing your emotional footing. And low mood isn't just about sadness. It's about missing out on joy, connection, and meaning. That's why this isn't about food. It's about freedom. Freedom to wake up feeling clear. To move through your day without fear. To remember what matters most and why you still matter. This is your life. Your second spring. Your time to nourish not just your body, but your mind and spirit. So here's a question for you. Which of these 3 foods will you start with? Walnuts in the morning? Lentils at lunch? Brazil nuts in the evening? Or maybe all 3? Let us know in the comments, what ritual will you try first? And where are you watching from? We'd love to hear your story and your reflections. And if you found this content helpful, please like this video. It helps us reach more seniors with practical tools, elderly wisdom, and real-life strategies for vibrant aging. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. We're building a family rooted in senior health, motivation, and life lessons from the elderly that truly matter. You've met the foods. You've learned how to turn them into simple, meaningful rituals. But now, let's go even deeper, because these aren't just healthy choices. They're anchors. Lifelines. Daily decisions that protect something we rarely talk about after 70. Your sense of self. You see, when your brain feels foggy, your blood sugar unstable, or your mood low, it's not just about discomfort, it's about disconnection. You start to feel like life is happening around you instead of with you. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to shrink. But here's the truth. Every bite you take is a message to your body. Every meal is a chance to say, I still matter. Let's look at how these 3 foods protect you over time, not just for today, but for the months and years ahead. Starting with the brain. Protecting what makes you you. The first thing many people fear as they age isn't wrinkles or gray hair, it's losing their mind. The ability to think clearly, remember names, finish sentences, or stay sharp in conversation is more precious than gold. That's why walnut-rich diets are now being studied as a potential defense against cognitive decline. In a groundbreaking 2019 study from UCLA, seniors who consumed a handful of walnuts at least 5 times a week performed significantly better on memory and processing tests than those who didn't. Their brains aged slower. Not just felt younger, functioned younger. The reason? Walnuts reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain, 2 silent enemies that chip away at memory over time. But that's not all. They also promote neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells. Yes, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your brain can still grow and adapt. This is known as neuroplasticity. And walnuts help activate it. Think about what that means. Clearer memories, easier conversation, more confidence in daily life. All from something so simple, you can hold it in your palm. Now, let's talk about something most seniors struggle with but don't often link to food, emotional regulation. That afternoon irritability. The evening sadness. The unexplained worry. Too often, it's dismissed as just getting old. But in reality, it's often rooted in unstable blood sugar, a hidden roller coaster that affects not just your energy, but your entire emotional landscape. This is where lentils come in. Because lentils don't just fill you up. They slow you down, in the best way. Their high fiber content means they take time to digest. They prevent sharp sugar spikes and crashes. They support a slow, steady release of glucose into your bloodstream, keeping your mood even and your energy balanced. In a 2021 study from the University of Toronto, seniors who ate a high lentil meal experienced 42% fewer mood swings throughout the day compared to those who ate white rice or bread. It's not just about avoiding sugar. It's about building a strong foundation for your nervous system so you're less reactive, more resilient, and more emotionally steady. And there's one more bonus. Lentils are gut heroes. They feed your microbiome, the trillions of bacteria in your gut that influence everything from digestion to mental health. A balanced gut produces more serotonin, more dopamine, and more of the feel-good chemicals your brain needs to stay optimistic, clear, and calm. Now let's return to those quiet moments in the evening. When the dishes are done, the day is fading, and your mind starts to drift toward old memories, worries, or fatigue. This is where Brazil nuts shine. Not just for sleep, not just for thyroid health, but for protecting your future. Selenium, the mineral that Brazil nuts are rich in, is one of the most powerful antioxidants in the world. It reduces chronic inflammation, a major driver of everything from joint pain to heart disease to Alzheimer's. But its real gift? Mood elevation. In one study from Australia, seniors with higher selenium levels were 60% less likely to report symptoms of depression. The effect was even more profound in those with mild cognitive decline, suggesting that selenium may protect emotional well-being even as the brain begins to age. And it doesn't take much. 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day. Think about that. A tiny nut. A big difference. Grace, our painter from Manchester, says those 2 Brazil nuts gave her more than better focus, they gave her hope. When my thoughts are clearer, my emotions feel softer, she told us. I can paint again. I can remember what I love. Isn't that what we all want? To remember what we love. To feel like ourselves again. So here's what I want you to understand. Food is not just about nutrition. It's about permission. Permission to feel good. Permission to function with clarity. Permission to keep being you. And you don't need to change everything at once. Just start with 1. A few walnuts in the morning. A small bowl of lentils in the afternoon. 1 or 2 Brazil nuts in the evening. That's it. That's enough. Let it become a rhythm. A way to honor your body. A quiet act of resistance against decline. Because you are not here just to survive. You are here to thrive. To remember. To connect. To feel. And if anyone tells you it's too late, tell them this: you still have a body that listens. You still have a brain that adapts. You still have a heart that wants to feel joy. So let it begin at the table. Let your next bite be a vote for yourself. You're not just feeding your body. You're feeding your future. If this message touched you, let us know in the comments. What part spoke to you most? Are you going to start your own food ritual? And where in the world are you watching from? Please don't forget to like this video, it helps us reach more people who need this message. And subscribe to the channel for more elderly reflections, senior health, motivation, and life lessons from the elderly you won't hear anywhere else. You're still here. You still matter. And you still have more beautiful days ahead. Let's begin, one bite at a time.